Hi, I'm Stephen Ham from Archery Supplies. This is the Hoyt Accutech Carbonite. Now, I've been selling archery gear for years, and I've probably seen one of these before, but I've never sold one before, I've never shot one before. I don't know much about them. Okay, but let's just look back. So I googled it before I did this review to try and find out a bit about it, and there was someone on a forum who wanted to know something about it, and what year it was made, and everyone's like, it's a Hoyt Carbonite, but no one really knew the year. They said it was mid-90s bow. So things I want to show: these limbs. These are really good limbs. These are laminate limbs. They're a very good limb. Now I would say what Hoyt does now, and what every other company does, is use a good glass limb. It's basically a solid glass limb. Sometimes Hoyt now put a one layer over the top, I think. But this, you can see, is a multi-layered limb. The reason they don't do it like this anymore, I think, is cost. Because these limbs used to cost a lot to make. But they were really good. Basically bulletproof limbs. You see the recurve design, because back in this age of this bow, it was seen that recurve limbs were better than straight limbs. They were seen to be more accurate. So they were seen to be a more expensive limb to make and hence more accurate, but that was a bit of a fallacy because now all the limbs are straight, right? So I come from that era where the manufacturers would tell you stuff which wasn't really true just to make you spend more money, right? I'm not even going to go at the manufacturers, by the way. It's just like, this is the premier product. It all made no difference. It all got back to the archer. Right, so things that are cool. The breech riser, the anodizing, right? So back in this day of Hoyt, they used to do this anodizing. I thought this looked amazing, right? Just amazing anodizing. Now, Steve from Hoyt, name escapes me, said that the anodizing Hoyt used to do created environmental problems, right? So he said it corroded the concrete and created environmental problems, and that's why they don't do it anymore. But it looks amazing. Amazing, right? Really good. Twin cam, top and bottom. You can see the cams are really small. The draw length on this bow is 29 inches. It's got a rotating module, and you get about an inch either side through just moving the modules. That's quite good. The yoke kit system was a bit unique. You can see there, Hoyt, this was a yoke and then it was connected to another string here. So kind of not like a floating yoke, but yeah. So you could tune it, but yeah. It was their kind of system. Cable guard went off the back here. The arrow rest, this was gone key, which allowed you to tune it up and down, tension on the side here, and a little blade. The sight was a Toxonic. This was a pretty good target sight, right, in the day. And the lens is actually quite a good lens. Like, this was too expensive for me when I was shooting. It was a Bullseye Millennium target thing. It's got a drill hole in the center. So when you look through it, it expands except for the dot in the center. It looks pretty good to go through. So overall, this bow, is over 20 years old and really good, and it'll last forever. Right, what I want to talk about is limb pockets. These limb pockets are cool. This is the way bows should be. I don't know if it's just me. This is what I want. Limb lock-in systems. Right, they don't do it anymore. You can see how much more work's involved in these limb pockets. They don't do it anymore. I think they're just saving costs, but I like this. It locks in. And you can see how much more you can wind up and wind down the bow. You can see the bow's wound down a little bit, which I like. You can see it nice and clearly. So you can wind it up. It's currently set on 41 pounds at 29 inches. The bow weighs a bit. I'm going to say it probably weighs about 5 pounds. But really good quality bow. I'm going to shoot it with fingers. Now, a lot of people want a bow to shoot fingers for bare bow, okay? And you can't get them because they don't make bows like this anymore. So if you want to shoot a bow with fingers, try and find one of these old ones, because the cams are little and they'll be quite good because they're quite long and you won't have problems of twisting the strings off and blowing up the bows. These bows are pretty bulletproof. So but you'll have to get a different rest. I'm going to shoot this with fingers just because I think it's more of a finger shooting bow. And back in the day, they shot these things with a release aids, right? But today, it would be like, if you want a finger shooting bow, this is awesome for that, right? So let's see if I can just keep the arrow on there. The draw cycle is very smooth, like it's very, very smooth all the way back. The draw stop is very solid. We're going to release it. Feels really nice. There's very little vibration. Very, very nice bow to shoot. Very nice bow to shoot. Like, very nice bow. Like, it's old. It's 20 odd years old, and old strings, and but it's got limb locking. It's got good limbs. The cams are small, so you don't have any timing issues. Because the bigger the cams, the more timing issues you're probably going to have. I'm going to say these little stickers. That's what they used to put on your risers when you shoot a tournament. So the little stickers to show that it's been through the judge. But very smooth to shoot. And just a really lovely bow to shoot. So, like back in the day, these were really expensive. So back in the 1990s, when I was very poor, this would have been more than my car to buy. Right? Putting things in perspective, my car cost $500. This was probably 3 times the price of my car. That car today will be very expensive. It's probably worth about $40,000 because it's a collector's car now. And this bow is probably, well, it's got a cool scope. It's got a good sight. It's got a good arrow rest. But this bow itself is probably around a $300 bow. But if you are looking for a light poundage bow, just sort of start off with, it's really good quality, so that's a good thing. If you're looking for a bow to shoot fingers, it's perfect. You can't get it, so it's basically priceless for a person who wants to shoot with fingers bare bow, because it's the ideal bow. Just literally, there's going to be nothing better. It draws smooth. So for the person who's looking for this bow's ideal. And I've been selling archery gear for 40 years. I've never seen one before. So, yeah. The sight is Toxonic. So Toxonic, I think, has kind of gone out of business. But it had a 3rd axis here, which was kind of cool. How you adjust the quick speed, I'll just show you. You used to loosen this off here, and then you push this in, and it slid down like that. Toxonic was a bulletproof sight. So my question is to myself, should I sell this with the sight or rip the sight off? So that's what I would decide now, because the sight is still good for the archers of today, because everything is good with it. It's a better sight than what you'll buy for $120, $130 odd dollars. It's a much better sight than that. I mean, back in the time, these sights were expensive. So you're probably talking, the scope was probably $200. The sight itself was probably around the $400 mark. So that was an expensive sight. The arrow rest was like a built-in arrow rest. I didn't sell these ones. That's probably $140 arrow rest back 20 odd years ago. But anyway, Hoyt Carbonite. Haven't seen one before, but very, very cool. Thanks for watching. Bye.